Alright, today I'm going to be looking at this toilet that keeps on flying and never stops. As you can see, or you can hear, it's just continuously going. So when I take this guy off, as you can see, it's flying. Alright, so I just let the water go, and as you can see, the water is just carrying in on there. There's this inlet valve needs to be replaced. As you can see, this is continual water flowing. So this inlet valve needs to be replaced. It's a little bit of a tricky one, because if you look at, obviously you're going to have to close the valve there so that there's no water. And then we need to get to those, you can see them now, have to get to those screws there, or bolts, to take this guy out. Right, well, first thing is you're going to have to get rid of his water. So the easiest way is just manually lifting this up. You're going to have to make sure all the water's out. Because if it's not, it's just going to come out at the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, the inlet has seen better days. Yeah. Alright, so it's a bit of a problem at the moment, because I cannot get to that screws down there because this guy's in the way. So what I had to do is taken those bolts off, and then there's obviously there's two underneath here, and then this is gonna, this should lift the toilet out. So you basically have to take, in my case, but you don't have to do it in all cases, is to take this out to get to that guy there, because then it's going to be easier, because then you can just loosen that, and then you can then work on the bottom. Alright, so there's the old one. It really seems fallen apart. I'm not even going to bother looking at that further. And here you can also see the valve, the way it's positioned to be inside the toilet. And of course, here's the replacement. It's basically a different one. I'm hoping that this will last longer than the other one, because the other one only lasted really a year. I'm just going to take it out of the box. Alright, so there's a new one, and it looks a bit more steadier than the other one. So yeah, these are two together. The one is a bit smaller, which is probably better as well. What a mission. As I said, just because of that, I haven't had some sort of a wrench that cannot fit in. The easy way is just to take it off like that. It's not normally the case, so there's the easier way. I must accept on that one, but it is what it is. Alright, as you can see, the new inlet valve is installed, but what has happened, it's still overflowing even on the lowest possible position. And if you press this, there is you cannot actually switch the water off. So there is definitely something wrong with this unit. This installed. So yeah, what a pity. Alright, so originally I bought this guy. It's supposed to work. Unfortunately, it's still, even though if you press it, it's still, the water is still flowing. So I've ended up had to buy this guy. There's an Gibberit, and this full valve. It seems to be the #1 in sanitary technology in Europe, so I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm just going to quickly open it up. Alright, so there we go. We have the other one, which feels better quality than the previous one. I'm going to have to try and see if it's going to work. Oh. And that was the one that didn't really work. Oh yeah, so if you put it like that, then you can see the difference. Alright, so I've got the new one in. I'm just showing the other side. That guy, you normally just hand tight and then maybe one and then another one. You don't want to over tighten because you're gonna break the actual plastic. As for this, you call it maybe flexi or whatever, what I normally do, I normally recommend with this is, also just hand tight it, and then you might just use the wrench and give it maybe one. Sorry. And another one. So that should be enough. Alright, so we have the inline filter, inline. Alright, so we have the inline valve now secure inside, and what I'm going to do now is switch the water on, and hopefully this will sort out the problems. Let's just see, it should follow. Alright, so let's just see what happens. Okay, so it's stopping right there. Maybe not enough, but we'll have to maybe adjust.